sejarah bangsa dan negara. Kerana siapa beta selaku raja tidak boleh putus hubungan dengan bangsa dan negara. Tegasnya, beta tetap berkongsi sejarah dengan mereka. Demikian itu hubungan raja dengan rakyat. Tidak ada tembok pemisah di antara mereka. Kewajipan raja berlaku adil kepada rakyat, sementara kewajipan rakyat pula mentaati raja. Raja berkewajipan untuk mengetahui susah senang rakyat, sementara rakyat pula dituntut untuk bersimpati kepada raja. Inilah namanya kewajipan timbal balik untuk kesejahteraan semua.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening. I'm Azrul Bakar and welcome to News at 10. The top stories tonight. The authorities have succeeded in apprehending suspects believed to be involved in cases of breaking and entering, vehicle theft and stolen vehicle smuggling syndicate. Praiseworthy characteristics such as sincerity and patience must be possessed by dedicated teachers. The hijrah or migration of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and his companions, as well as his bravery and patience in facing various challenges in carrying out Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's trust, is hoped to become an example in further strengthening teamwork. The lesson from the event also enables to cement the core values of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces RPAF in providing meaningful contributions to the country's defence. The matter was among the contents of a short talk in conjunction with the 1440 Hijrah New Year celebration organised by the Ministry of Defence and RPAF this morning. The ceremony was held at Surau Ad-Difa, Bolkiah Garrison. Present was Yang Berhormat Pehindatul Lail Raja, retired Major General Datuk Paduka Sri Haji Awang Halbi bin Haji Muhammad Yusof, Second Minister of Defence. Also present was Major General Pengiran Datuk Paduka Sri Aminan bin Pengiran Haji Mahmud, Commander of the RBAF. The ceremony began with the reading of Surah Al-Baqarah and Surah Ar-Rahman. The talk, titled Hijrah Dalam Kepimpinan or Hijrah in Leadership, was delivered by Major Arifin bin Ahmed, acting head of the RPF Religious Department. Major Arifin stressed on the main characteristics of a leader's integrity in forming an organisation that cooperates and facilitates each other, such as in the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's Hijrah event. The ceremony was also attended by representatives from the Fire and Rescue Department. 4 graduates of the Sultan Haji Hassan Al Bolkiah Tahfiz Al Quran Institute for the 2015-2018 study session last night received the Ali Akira Diploma Excellent Award in a Doa Kesyukuran ceremony in conjunction with the 6th Haflut Takharuj or Convocation ceremony and Silver Jubilee celebration of the Sultan Haji Hassan Al Bolkiah Tahfiz Al Quran Institute's establishment. At the function, Pengiran Datuk Sri Paduka Haji Bahrum bin Pengiran Haji Bahar, Deputy Minister of Religious Affairs, as Chairman of the Haflut Takharuj Executive Committee and Silver Jubilee celebration, presented the Excellent Awards to the 4 graduates who obtained Excellent in Al-Quran, Academic, Individuality and Leadership. Awang Muhammad Nazri bin Haji Muhammad Hamzani received the Chairman of the Sultan Haji Hassan Al Bolkiah Tahfiz Al Quran Institute Board Award, and Awang Muhammad Hasbul Wafi bin Ahmad received the Deputy Chairman of the Sultan Haji Hassan Al Bolkiah Tahfiz Al Quran Institute Board Award. Meanwhile, two graduates, Dayang Nur Kamalia binti Muhammad Rizwan and Dayang Rashida binti Muhammad Harisi, received the Chairperson's Committee Award and Deputy Chairperson's Committee of the Sultan Haji Hassanal Bolkiah Tahfiz Al-Quran Institute Award, respectively. The special invited guests, organizer and committee of the Haflut Takharuj and 25th anniversary of the establishment of the institute, also received souvenirs and certificates of appreciation. Visual impairment is not an obstacle for a person to improve themselves. The disability should be seen as something special, whether in performing religious acts or occupation, and especially if they are able to read and memorize the holy verses of Al-Quran. 28-year-old Dayan Nur Asila binti Muhammad Zaini and 39-year-old Dayan Siti Roshida alias Nora Maslina binti Abdullah are among the special needs students who have sight loss and are now participating in the Al-Quran Braille class at the Sultan Haji Hassanal Bolkiah Tahfiz Al-Quran Institute. Both of them have joined the class for almost 10 years, and the knowledge that they've learned is not only on reading and memorizing the Al-Quran Braille, but also proficient in typing the Al-Quran verses using a Braille machine.
Cabaran memang banyak, kena mengingat lagi kod-kod penggunaan Braille dalam Al-Quran, dan juga kepayahan penggunaannya terlalu banyak juga. Kena we have to mesti tahu kod setiap penggunaan Al-Quran, dan samping itu juga memerlukan tenaga pengajar untuk dalam pembelajaran Quran Braille. Dan mula-mulanya memang payahlah dalam penggunaan, tapi seandainya kita ada kemahuan untuk mempelajari, niat kita ni nawaitu kita untuk mempelajari Al-Quran, insya-Allah ia dipermudahkan dan kena kuat semangat dalam penggunaan Braille. Dan saya harap penggunaan ini akan berterusan hingga yang akan datang.
Kalau menaip, mula-mula pernah jua keliru huruf-huruf dan baris, tapi akhirnya biasa jualah, tidak payah benar. Akhirnya boleh juga kira okeylah, merasa kod Braille tu. Perasaan ya okeylah, yang penting boleh sama macam yang lain kan, tahu membaca dan menulis. Nganya dulunya desangkalah boleh masuk ke tahfiz dalam baca Quran, belajar Quran.
Awang Haji Ubaidillah bin Haji Abdul Mughni bin Al-Quran teacher and supervisor of the Al-Quran Braille class explained that currently the special needs students that are participating in the Al-Quran Braille class can memorize 3 to 7 juz' or chapters of the Al-Quran.
Jadi harapan saya memang niatkan menghafaz Quran ini seumur hidup untuk bekal kita menemani di alam akhirat, menemani di alam kubur. Itu niat awalnya. Kalau sudah ada niat macam itu, insya-Allah tidak ada malas. Insya-Allah setiap hari dia akan mengulang, akan dengan sendirinya menjadi siu.
The Royal Brunei Police Force is actively carrying out an investigation relating to cases of breaking and entering, vehicle theft and stolen vehicle smuggling syndicate. Details next. First is excerpt of His Majesty's Tita. A briefing on the selection and voting of candidates' procedures was touched during the selection and voting ceremony for the Ketua Kampung of Bokok and Mukim Bokok, Temburong District. Among those present were Yang Berhormat Awang Haji Imran bin Haji Sabtu, Member of the Legislative Council, and Awang Muhammad Khairul Sarul bin Haji Dwahim, Acting Officer of Temburong District. The single candidate, 55-year-old Awang Abdullah bin Haji Mahmud, works at the Agriculture and Agri-Food Department. The results will be presented to the Board of Employment, Discipline and Disciplinary of the Penghulu Mukim and Ketua Kampung, Ministry of Home Affairs, for further process. The briefing was delivered by Ampuan Nur Irawati binti Ampuan Haji Razid, Grade 2 Special Duties Officer, Head of the Mukim and Kampung Institution Section, Temburong District Department. The Royal Brunei Police Force, with the cooperation of the Department of Immigration and National Registration, has apprehended a local man for attempting to exit the country using another person's passport to smuggle out a stolen car to the neighbouring country. This was announced by the Acting Director of Criminal Investigation Department in a media conference this morning at the Criminal Investigation Department building. Royal Brunei Police Force in Gadong succeeded in apprehending 15 suspects believed to be involved in cases of breaking and entering, vehicle theft and stolen vehicle smuggling syndicate. The Acting Director of Criminal Investigation Department also reminds the public to always be cautious in using banknotes. He added, last month a local man was apprehended and brought before the court after an investigation conducted jointly with Authority Monetary Brunei Darussalam for the offence of producing, using and possessing counterfeit banknotes. Further explaining on the arrests, Deputy Superintendent of Police Hamidun bin Haji Ibrahim, acting head of Major Criminal Investigation Section, Criminal Investigation Department, said that the section has actively made arrests since the 6th of this month until early this morning in order to carry out investigations linked to breaking and entering, vehicle theft and stolen vehicle smuggling syndicate. Arrests were made on 13 men and 2 women, including 2 foreign men. Aside from that, the activity also involved trans-border crime, whereby the apprehended were able to smuggle cars out to neighbouring country. To date, 19 cars and 9 motorcycles have been seized, including items believed to be stolen, such as household equipment and valuables from suspects' homes. If found guilty, they will face a fine and imprisonment, as well as caning.
Dan secara berkumpulan. Di samping itu, kegiatan ini juga melibatkan jenayah rentas sempadan, di mana tangkapan dipercayai berhasil melakukan penyeludupan kereta ke negara jiran. Setakat ini, sebanyak 19 buah kereta dan 9 buah motosikal telah dirampas, termasuk barang-barang yang dipercayai barang curi seperti perkakas rumah dan perhiasan dan barang-barang berharga daripada rumah-rumah suspek. Kesemua barang-barang bukti ini telah dibawa ke Jabatan Siasatan Jenayah untuk siasatan lanjut. Kes ini disiasat di bawah Seksyen 12-1 C dan I Akta Pasport Penggal 146 dan Seksyen 379, 380, 454, 457 dan 411 Kanun Hukuman Jenayah Penggal 22. Jika sabit kesalahan, ianya boleh dijatuhkan hukuman, denda dan penjara serta sebatan.
Deputy Superintendent of Police Rina Sufina binti Awang Ibrahim, acting head of Commercial Crime Investigation Section, Criminal Investigation Department, explained that the Commercial Crime Investigation Section has arrested a local man, 37-year-old Sudiman bin Madyasin, for the offence of producing, using and possessing of counterfeit notes. The defendant has been brought before the Bandar Sri Begawan Magistrates Court and has pleaded guilty to 3 counts of the Penal Code Chapter 22 under Section 489A for producing banknotes, which carries a sentence of 10 years imprisonment and a fine. Section 489B for using counterfeit banknotes, which carries a sentence of up to 15 years imprisonment and a fine, as well as Section 489C, possessing counterfeit banknotes, which carries a sentence of 10 years imprisonment and a fine. The court has set a sentencing date for the 20th of October 2018.
Sebagai tulen, boleh dihukum penjara sehingga 15 tahun dan boleh dikenakan denda.
In this morning's media conference, Assistant Commissioner of Royal Brunei Police Force, Datuk Paduka Haji Awang Muhammad Hassan, Acting Director of Criminal Investigation Department, also urged the public to take precautionary measures to prevent from becoming victims of car thefts. Assistant Commissioner of Royal Brunei Police Force, Datuk Paduka Haji Awang Muhammad Hassan, said the police advised the public not to keep car keys in easily seen areas in the house. Ensure the vehicle is always locked as well as parked in a safe place. The police also request the public corporation to come forward to provide information and assistance in order to reduce the crime rate in Brunei Darussalam.
Serta diletakkan di tempat yang selamat. Pasukan Polis Raja Brunei sekali lagi ingin memohon kerjasama orang ramai untuk sentiasa tampil ke hadapan bagi memberikan sebarang maklumat dan membantu.
Stay with us for more news after this.
Terbaru, Poka Ais Teh 5 Redah Gula. Nikmati kehidupan sepenuhnya.
We all crave for success, but nothing great ever comes easy. In everything we do, building a strong foundation is the platform for success tomorrow. Together, we are building a nation.
Knowledge is a person's guiding light, which is vital and useful in life because knowledge can help us succeed on earth and the hereafter. Those who are knowledgeable can differentiate between the good and the bad, as well as what is true and false. Seeing the importance of knowledge, Muslims are obligated to obtain as much knowledge as possible. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala places highly those who are knowledgeable and make the effort to gain knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also ease their path to heaven. This was stressed upon in today's Friday sermon titled Guru Dedikasi Pendidikan Cemerlang, or Dedicated Teachers Excellent Education. The Imam or prayer leader in his sermon said that becoming a dedicated, excellent and respected teacher possessing integrity is not an easy matter. Therefore, teachers must possess praiseworthy characteristics, among them sincerity and patience in educating and imparting knowledge without hoping for reciprocation, praise or rank, but to make the students' community and nation as people who are intelligent and knowledgeable, as well as useful to the religion, race and country. Verily, the trust shouldered by a teacher is large and heavy, as their duties are not only limited to educating, but carries the responsibility to enrich students with knowledge, skills and noble values. Teachers are entrusted to produce individuals who are capable of fulfilling earthly demands as well as the hereafter. Therefore, Islam encourages the Ummah to respect, appreciate and place teachers in a high position and not to insult or even scold and go against them when advised or admonished by teachers, as it is feared that the student's blessing will disappear and he or she will not gain the knowledge's benefit.
Apatah lagi mengherdik dan melawan mereka apabila diberi teguran oleh guru, kerana dikhawatiri pelajar tersebut akan ditarik atau hilang keberkatan dan tidak memperolehi manfaat.
The beauty of Islam has encouraged a Dusun man to embrace the religion as his life belief. This morning, a conversion ceremony for David Boy Smith bin Imran was held at the Tutong District Dawah office.
Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah.
David Boy Smith is now known as Awan David Mikhail bin Abdullah Imran. 26-year-old Awan David Mikhail is from Kampung Bukit Tutong and works at Perbadanan Tabung Amanah Islam Brunei Thai. Among those present was Dayang Haja Norafida binti Haji Sulaiman, acting managing director of Thai. According to statistics from the Tutong District Dawah office, 74 people have embraced Islam since early this year in the district. With the aim of strengthening unity and solid collaboration through the whole nation approach, as well as to uphold the Wawasan Brunei 2035 towards a developed country, the Lakanun Tutong Carnival is held for the first time until this Sunday at the Pekan Tutong night market area. Among the interesting events are demonstrations on how to make chang, known as the Chinese ketupat, and umai umbut rotan from the owner of Eco Ponies, followed by the Master Chef Umai Umbut competition. Various delicacies of the Tutong district community are also provided by the participants, comprising micro, small and medium entrepreneurs, Mukim and village consultative councils, as well as youth and food product entrepreneurs in the district. Those interested to eat fish and seafood products can buy various types of fish and fishery products at the Mini Fisheries Carnival, currently held until this Sunday at the Muara Fish Landing Complex. After 2 days, the public response is very encouraging. The Mini Carnival, organised jointly by the Fisheries Department and fish entrepreneurs, promotes the involvement of local entrepreneurs in the fishing, aquaculture and seafood processing industries. The Mini Fisheries Carnival is one of the Fishery Department's efforts in encouraging the involvement of local fishing entrepreneurs to promote and market their various products to the public. In the midst of continuous demand from the local market, entrepreneurs are increasing their efforts in producing and marketing products to meet local and international demand. The yield from the country's fisheries products also contributes to production growth, upholding the Ministry of Primary Resources and Tourism's desire to double the fisheries sector's production by 2020. The public can visit the carnival from 8 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. Moving on to world news and the top stories tonight, Vietnamese President Tran Dai Quang dies after a serious illness. Vietnamese President Tran Dai Quang, 61 years old, the country's number 2 after the ruling Communist Party's leader, has died after a serious illness. The state-run online newspaper VN Express quoted a former health minister and the head of a national committee in charge of leaders' health, Yuan Trok Chu, as saying that Quang had contracted a rare and toxic virus since July last year and had travelled to Japan 6 times for treatment. He did not specify the virus. Trieu said the president lapsed into a deep coma hours after being admitted to the National Military Hospital 108 yesterday. His last public appearance was at a Politburo meeting of the ruling Communist Party and a reception for a Chinese delegation on Wednesday. North Korea's state media released a video of South Korean President Moon Jae-in's second-day events in Pyongyang. In the video aired by North state-run television KRT, Moon and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un were seen signing an announcing agreement. The footage also showed Moon and Kim having luncheon and dinner and watching mass games. The leaders of 2 Koreas agreed to turn the Korean peninsula into a land of peace without nuclear weapons and nuclear threats on the second day of the Inter-Korean Summit in Pyongyang. Kim wants a second summit with U.S. President Donald Trump soon to hasten denuclearization, but a key goal is declaring an end this year to the 1950-53 Korean War, Moon said after he returned to Seoul. Canada's parliament voted unanimously to call the killings of ethnic Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar a genocide. Members of parliament across all parties adopted a motion that officially endorses the findings of a UN investigation which last month condemned mass killings of the Rohingya. The vote in Canada's parliament came the same day UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres called on the Myanmar government to pardon and release 2 imprisoned Reuters journalists who had been reporting on the killings. Some 700,000 Rohingya have fled Myanmar into Bangladesh to escape the military crackdown. Canadian Foreign Minister Chrystia Freeland, a former editor of Thomson Reuters Digital, told reporters in Washington, where she was attending NAFTA trade talks, that the vote in Parliament was an important step in Ottawa's efforts to seek justice for the Rohingya. Earlier this week, the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court said her office had begun a preliminary examination into whether alleged forced deportations of Rohingya from Myanmar into Bangladesh could constitute war crimes or crimes against humanity. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres called on the Myanmar government to pardon and release 2 imprisoned Reuters journalists as soon as possible. Reuters reporters Wa Lone, 32, and Kiao So-u, 28, were convicted on September 3rd under the Colonial-era Official Secrets Act in a case that was seen as a test of democratic freedoms in Myanmar. The reporters who pleaded not guilty said they were handed rolled papers by police shortly before they were detained last December, and a police witness testified in court that they would be set up. The reporters had been investigating the killing of 10 Rohingya Muslim men and boys amid a military response to insurgent attacks last August. More news after this short break. The Maldives presidential election will be held this 23rd September. Current President Abdullah Yameen will be bidding for a second 5-year term, while the opposition Democratic Party has put a veteran lawmaker Ibrahim Ibu Muhammad Soleh as its presidential candidate. The candidates are contesting the polls during an uncertain time in the Indian Ocean island nation. The Maldives, home to 400,000 people and best known as a tropical paradise for tourists, has experienced political unrest since former leader Mohammad Nasheed was forced to quit amid a mutiny by police in 2012. Elections Commission Chief Ahmed Sharif said the 2018 presidential poll will be held in the most transparent and open manner, with international observers invited to attend. Maldives operate a 2-round system where a second round of voting will be held if no candidates receive a simple majority in the first polls. Textile companies in East China's Hangzhou city have been taking effective precautions against the new U.S. tariffs. On Tuesday, the United States announced tariffs on Chinese goods worth $200 billion. The tariff list might have been a blow to the 120 textile companies in Yuhang district of Hangzhou, capital of Zhejiang province. 2 months ago, the Yuhang Textile Association published an article on a journal that circulates among its member companies. It predicts the upcoming U.S. tariffs on Chinese textile products based on professional analysis. The article raised concerns among local textile companies at a time when blind optimism was trying to convince entrepreneurs that the tariffs would be targeted at high-tech products, while textile would stand aloof. Since then, the association has published 5 quality articles providing enterprises with the latest information and professional advice on marketing, exporting and others. With all the measures, 120 textile companies in Yuhang have been fully aware of the possible impact and are taking their own actions. Government officials, business tycoons and scholars from home and abroad gathered at the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road Forum to discuss the Belt and Road Initiative in Zhuhai city of South China's Guangdong province. Total trade volume between China and countries along the Belt and Road over the past 5 years has reached $5 trillion, creating numerous job opportunities and benefiting the people of those countries. Shen Haixiong, president of China Media Group, expanded on how China is playing a major role in global development with the Belt and Road Initiative proposed by Chinese President Xi Jinping 5 years ago, along with its continuous policy of opening up and reform. Former French Prime Minister Jean-Pierre Raffarin also shared the view that cooperation is needed to achieve global development and praised the Belt and Road Initiative. During the 3-day forum, several panels will also be held on how China can maintain its growth and play a bigger role in global prosperity.
We're in Guangdong. Enterprise, innovation, trading, being open to trade, high education.
More than 100 people drowned when a ferry sank in Tanzania's Lake Victoria, and government officials fear the final death toll could be more than 200. Mwanza District Commissioner John Mongela said rescues were concentrating on finding survivors from the disaster and that 2 other vessels had been diverted to help in the operation. Initial estimates showed that the MV Nyerere was carrying more than 300 people on board. It went down yesterday afternoon just a few meters from the dock in Ukerewe district, but it was hard to establish the precise number of passengers on board since the person dispensing tickets had also drowned in the machine recording the data lost. Hundreds of civilians crowded Misrata Airport, the only working airfield in the North African country's western region. According to the head of their media center, Soliman Al-Jahimi, Misrata Airport's resources and staff are struggling to handle the resulting influx of thousands of passengers daily. Jahimi added that passengers, including some sick and elderly, have been waiting up to 7 hours for their flights. Misrata Airport shut down 5 days after flights had resumed following a previous shutdown forced by fighting among rival armed groups. Clashes in Tripoli have entered their 4th week, despite government national accord's deployment of peacekeeping forces and a fragile ceasefire agreement brokered by the United Nations. A year after Hurricane Maria ripped through Puerto Rico, government officials announced that about $1.5 billion in federal funds aimed primarily at rebuilding housing will start flowing to the island. Maria devastated the U.S. Commonwealth. Puerto Rico Governor Ricardo Rosselló has said the island's government initially underestimated the death toll, putting it at 64. Florida Governor Rick Scott attended a memorial event yesterday with Governor Rosselló in the capital city of San Juan. The storm knocked out power and communications to virtually all of the island's 3.2 million residents, while destroying the homes of thousands. Shuttered businesses, blue tarp roofs and extended damaged homes can still be seen throughout Puerto Rico. Access to electricity and fresh water remains spotty. Sports news coming up next. The Malaysian Games 19 Sukma Perak Darul Ridwan in the singles 80 kilograms men's welter taekwondo event. The country's athlete Ahmad Aiman Akil Muhammad failed to advance to the semi-finals due to injury, despite starting excellently. The event took place at the Tan Po Sang Hall SMK Sabin, Teluk Intan. The quarterfinals event saw Ahmad Aiman went against Muhammad Jamal Sheikh Hassan Damanhuri from Penang. Ahmad Aiman led the match in the first round by 7-5. However, the country's athlete was injured in the second round while leading the match by 9-5, giving the winning title to Penang's athlete. The injury prevented Ahmad Aiman from proceeding to the semi-finals, which would have given him opportunity to win a bronze medal for the country. Meanwhile, in the 10-pin bowling event, the country's squad comprising Abu Khalidi Yusri Abu Bakar, Awangku Hazikuddin Shah Mardi, Pengiran Anak Hishamuddin, Muhammad Al-Amin Haji Abdul Hamid, Nur Shahdini Aiman Bahrain and Safwan Anwar Sapri recorded overall points of 5,282 pinfalls, was placed 14th, while Awangku Muhammad Ardi Pengiran Umar Ali also failed to advance to the All-Masters round. Here's the 19 Sukma Games medal tally as of 9 o'clock this evening. Singapore Premier League, Brunei DPM FC continues its campaign for the home match tomorrow night against Tampines Rovers FC. The match will take place at the Hasna Bolkiah National Stadium in Brakas. The UEFA Europa League, 24 matches were played this morning. Here are the results. Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic will be teaming up for a doubles match on the open day of the Laver Cup. The surprise announcement by Team Europe captain Bjorn Borg was made as the first day schedule was unveiled by Borg and Team World captain and old rival John McEnroe. Federer and Djokovic will play the Team World pairing of South African Kevin Anderson and American Jack Sock. At the inaugural event in Prague last year, Team Europe defeated the world team 15-9. Federer leads Team Europe, which includes Djokovic, Alexander Zverev, Grigor Dimitrov, David Goffin, Carl Edmund and alternate Jeremy Chardy. Team World consists of John Isner, Anderson, Francis Tiafoe, Diego Schwartzman, Sock, Nick Kyrgios and alternate Nicholas Jarry. The Laver Cup, a brainchild of Roger Federer, among others, is making its first appearance in the United States and kicked off today to Sunday.
Last year was heartbreaking. I don't really shed tears much, but as soon as I lost last year, it was the first thing that happened.
The general local weather for the next 24 hours is expected to be occasional showers or thunder showers. Tonight, the weather is expected to be cloudy with occasional showers still expected during the night. There is risk of flash floods, especially at low-lying and flood-prone areas. Sea state is light at 0.6 to 1 meter. Wind is from southwest at 5 to 15 kilometers per hour. Wind gusts of up to 40 kilometers per hour is possible during heavy showers. Tomorrow morning, the weather will be cloudy with showers mostly at sea. Sea and wind states are the same as tonight. And the afternoon will be cloudy with showers or thunder showers expected mainly over inland areas. There is risk of flash floods, especially at low-lying and flood-prone areas. Sea state is the same as tonight. Wind is from southwest at 10 to 30 kilometers per hour. Wind gusts of up to 40 kilometers per hour is possible during heavy showers. Wallahu a'lam bisawab. A look at the forecast for Brunei Darussalam for the next 3 days and the weather for some of the main cities around the world. To conclude, let's reflect on a tradition of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ or a hadith as narrated by Muslim. Verily the world is luscious and beautiful. Allah has made human beings as caliphs in the world and Allah sees how one carries out good deeds. And that concludes News at 10 for this evening. Good night. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.